I don't necessarily think this movie reaches the heights of Top Gun Maverick, but it's still a damn entertaining watch. Going into F1, I was excited specifically because of the people involved. You have Joseph Kosinski coming off of one of my favorite movies, Top Gun Maverick, a movie that was universally loved by seemingly everyone that watched it. And so when I heard that he was going to deliver another big screen spectacle movie, this time with F1 racing, which I have no attachment to, I've never really watched the race myself. I was curious to see if I would get interested in the sport. I think if you are a Formula One fan, you're going to find a lot to enjoy in F1, the movie. That's not to say that anyone else will find no enjoyment in it, because I was not a prior fan of the sport, but I found it to be a very entertaining movie. Very similar to Top Gun Maverick, this movie has thrilling action in the sense of you feel like you are right there with these racers. In Top Gun Maverick, you felt like you were in the cockpit, in the air, and it was so intense and thrilling, and it's similar here. I don't think I felt on the edge of my seat as much as I was feeling in Top Gun Maverick per se. But especially seeing in IMAX, that's the number one way to see this movie. I honestly don't think I would have any interest in watching it any other way. Except for 4DX, I think that could be really cool. You obviously have one of the great leading mans in Brad Pitt, and he brings another really good performance. Again, he knows how to carry a movie, and he can carry it with his charm. Acting opposite him as the young driver is Damson Idris, who I was not familiar with his work before this movie. And he really impressed me with how much I really just found him to be annoying at times. His character, that is, and he plays that cockiness just well. And then you have Carrie Condon, who I have to be honest, I think she's a great actress. A part of me feels like she was a bit miscast. That is because I didn't really feel the connection between her and Brad Pitt. I didn't feel much of a spark, a chemistry there. And the romance between the two of them felt forced because I just wasn't buying into it. Once again, I think she's a really talented actress, but it just didn't sell me on the relationship aspect of it as much as I think the movie wanted it to, because that's kind of like the other thing besides Formula One in the racing is the characters and their relationships. The more character-driven moments didn't really win me over entirely. I overall wish this movie had more of an emotional punch. That's where I felt that it was lacking. I don't even think it really was trying to have more of an emotional punch. I think there were ways that they could have went down that path, but they didn't. And the story as a whole was super predictable, which is unfortunate. I kind of felt watching the trailers, I was like, I think I know what this is going to be, and I was right. I was pretty much straight on. I was like, that's what this movie is, and there's nothing really else to say about it. Also can feel like one big ad at times. You have so many different companies obviously chipping in to help with the budget. So you have Apple. Obviously there are going to be a bunch of brand sponsored deals with a Formula One race movie because they are on the tracksuits and the cars. It kind of just feels like, look at how great all of this stuff is. Which is fine. I understand. You gotta promote some stuff sometimes. It didn't really get in the way of much. One of the better parts about it, though, is the soundtrack, which honestly just has banger after banger. A lot of great hits here that I think really just feel like energy fuel. And they definitely match the story and the moments of intensity and trying to get you hyped up. As well, you have Hans Zimmer, who did the score, and the score, again, helps build that intensity. It's really kind of like techno, and I dug it. Plus, I can't imagine how hard a lot of the edits were in this movie, because you have a lot of quick cuts kind of to go along with the music to really make you feel the weight of how quickly things have to be on time, on schedule when you're in a race like that. Whether that's fixing up the car or the laps themselves. And so there's a lot of impressive editing in that regard. I think that the movie could have been overall much tighter. I think that it's overly long. I definitely felt the length. By the time we get to the third act, it feels like we were running on low steam a little bit. Low fuel, if you will. The movie can feel repetitive at times. There is a specific beat involving kind of a stop, something big happens, and then they can kind of continue on with their journey. And it does that not once, but twice over. And I was struggling to feel if it really was necessary the second time around. But the bottom line is that this is a really entertaining movie. It's not without its problems. I don't think it's a great movie as much as I might have wanted it to be. The action is really well done from a visual standpoint. It just looks great, especially on the big screen. The cast is great. There are funny gags. It's fun to watch these races. It does kind of just take your mind off of things and go back to the movies for a little bit. But because it was overly long and the story wasn't as unpredictable as I might have hoped, with a lackluster emotional connection, I struggle to call this great. It's still really good though. I'm going to give F1 a B. And because of those racing sequences, you have to see this on the big screen. And also because, like I said, it can take your mind off of things, and it's a escapism kind of movie. Plus, if you are a fan of Formula One racing, I think that it has a lot to enjoy in that regard. But be sure to let me know your thoughts on the movie down below in the comments. I want to thank you so much for watching this review. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, look forward to more content coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.